Greetings all. I pray all is well. You know, my message is always changing the vibration of this planet with love. And what conversations can we have to assist in this process? Well, today's one's about ascension. You know, when you think about ascension, you think about elevating from one state to the next, you know, to a higher state of being, a higher state of consciousness. So every soul is supposed to ascend. But there is intentional frequencies or intentional situations that is preventing or is trying to prevent humanity from ascending. And the easiest way to keep you from ascending is to keep you in a state of fear, a state of fear, a state of perpetual unknowing of self, you know, a state of unknowing how to move forward, how to see beyond your present circumstances. And this is done because when you're in a state of, when you ascend into a higher state of awareness or consciousness, you are able to create, you're able to co-create, you're able to, you're able to understand what you're doing. And a lot of energies out there don't want you to, because when you can think for yourself, then you're not controllable. And so even though the planet is ascending into another state of consciousness because of the times that we're in, and so humanity, and a lot of people are aware of this, are waking up and feeling the shifts, feeling the understandings of what's going on. Yet, like I said, there is an intentional space to try and prevent humanity from ascending. So this is why we have to have different kind of conversations to assist, because if you're not aware that something is trying to prevent you from elevating, there's nothing you're going to do to counteract that. But we have to realize that intentional space of fear, or that intentional putting out of negative information, topics and fear-mongering and propaganda, all those things. What are you doing? Sorry, this idiot just stopped. There's nothing in front of it, just stopped in front of me, so sorry about that. But yeah, so when you realize that you are being, I don't want to say punked, but you're being used to react to certain things, and certain things have been put out there for you to react to. And this is why we have to get really in tune with our emotions. This is that space of know thyself, understand thyself, understand, and be in the space of loving yourself, because when that energy opens you up to realizing things, gives you clarity on a number of things. Because in the space of fear, your emotions, without you understanding your emotions end up making you sick. They end up giving you energies or problems or situations that you end up having to deal with later on. Like when you don't communicate your emotions and you hold them in, that energy that you hold in turns into something else, because it's not meant to sit there. Energy is meant to be emotion, emotions. They're supposed to be flowing. But the thing is, we are not completely aware of what our emotions can really do. What we tend to do is, when something happens, we react to that feeling at that moment. And like anger always has wisdom with it, but left to run rogue, it's gonna do the most heinous things. So but we have to be aware that our anger has the ability to do some chaotic things, but it also has the ability to make you aware of things and to stop and put things in check, so that others don't take advantage, or other people or things like that don't take advantage of you. That anger, when you feel like somebody's taking a piss, it comes up and like, yo, handle that. And it gives you that ability, or should I say, it gives that awareness that something needs to be done, right? But it's the same with happiness, or I say bliss, or passion. Sometimes people feel that energy of passion and go frigging stupid. And I say stupid because they go into doing many things that can be, that they can't they can't stop themselves because they feel so much into that space. And this is where those chaotic situations occur, when people get SA'd and violated because other people's passions that they don't know how to control run ragged. And that's the same, is like I said, so all these emotions that we have to have understandings about them. We have to understand that there's levels to it. There's degrees to the same emotion, you know what I mean? There's degrees of sadness, happiness, joy. There's degrees of it, and depending on how you navigate yourself or how you roll is depending on how they're going to speak for you. You know what I mean? So when you're aware of how your emotions roll, you can choose how you react or respond to different situations. And that's the thing that they don't want you to understand. They don't want you to understand your emotions. They want you to just react to everything, because once you react, that reaction gives off a frequency, which is then that frequency is matched with the universe, and you get all the things that you just continuously don't want because you're continuously reacting. But responding is being aware and being understanding that this situation, whatever you're dealing with, is something that you can you need to pay more attention to or pay more awareness about, you know what I mean? But you have to be in control of that, because this ascension space, this ascension not only assists you, it assists humanity. It's each one, it assists us all by elevating our minds and our frequencies to experience new things and greater things. This is what the planet, this is what we're about. We're about elevating our minds, elevating our beings, elevating our passions, elevating our joys, elevating our experiences to experience the beauty of what life has to give. But if we're always stuck in a space of fear based upon the narratives that have been given to us, then we're not experiencing all that life has to offer. We're experiencing it from a space of it's like looking out of a window but from a corner, and all you're seeing is what that corner can give you. But there's so much more to see and there's so much more to experience, but due to our own fears, this is what we don't get the abundance of that. So again, like I said, there is an intentional space to stop humanity from ascending and keeping you in a space of fear. Yes, fear can be what they say, a healthy space of fear. I think, this is my personal opinion on this, you know what I mean? Because people say healthy space of fear is good because it makes you do stuff. But I'm saying, what about a healthy space of curiosity or caution, or what I mean? These are not fears. This is like your caution because of such and such. You're giving reason behind. When fears come, sometimes you have no idea why you're fearing something. It just immobilizes you from responding. So try and find other words to express something that you're not sure about, that you can dig deeper to figure out what this truly means, instead of going into that space of fear. Because in your own confidence, when you are authentic to yourself, fear has no fear shouldn't have that much power over you, because when you're authentic to yourself, you move accordingly, and that means you're not trying to hurt anybody else. You're trying to do what you need to do for you. So in this space of ascension, we have to be very mindful of how we think and feel and how our emotions move, because in that space, your emotions is what's going to give light to everything else. Everything that goes on around you, inside and outside, is dealing with your emotions. And if you don't understand your emotions, then you're going to be blown in either direction. I'm going to leave it there, because this is a very interesting topic about emotions and ascensions, but they all coincide with each other. We love you, and we love me too before it cuts off. All right, take care. Peace out.